r/adulting. Woof Woof Love says, I'm a 25-year-old failure. I'm 25 years old. I'm broke, unemployed, and nobody will hire me or give me a chance. I've been crying and so depressed I can't even get out of bed because everything I've ever did, even going to college, has failed. I feel cursed, like evil magic's been placed upon me. Most people my age aren't failures and I can't help but think some evil witch or person has cursed me with ugliness, poverty, and being a NEET. When I was 18 I applied and got accepted to my first job. I was fired because it was too physically demanding. So I applied for a bunch of restaurants but nobody would hire me. I started writing articles. People told me that I was wasting my time and writing would never be a profitable career. I knew I wouldn't get a decent job, so I kept applying for more positions for a year. Nobody hired me. I went on 20 interviews. At 22 I tried to start various businesses that all failed. I knew that I was wasting my time, so at 23 I decided to go to college. I failed the placement exams. I went back to starting more businesses which only failed. At 24 I got interested in investing in venture capital. I thought maybe I could get a job working with a company, but 6 months later everybody on LinkedIn ignores me. Nobody would hire or work with me. I have good connections but nobody will work with me. Finally I tried to start a daycare since I have babysitting experience, but unfortunately my mom needs a heart transplant and now we are about to move to a different state. Most likely we are getting a small apartment, so my daycare dreams are done. Our car broke down and we only have one car. Everything around me is failing apart. Now I'm 25, broke and can't find a job. I'm pretty much a failure. I've done everything. I've tried college, business, jobs, hobbies, but nothing ever goes right for me. I'm so depressed I can't get out of bed or take care of my cat anymore. I see successful people and I don't understand what am I doing wrong and what are they doing right. Am I cursed with voodoo evil magic? Has a witch placed the curse of poverty on me? Samidrankm1101 says, there is no witch placing poverty on you. The issue is that you are putting the cart before the horse. How can you attempt to start a variety of businesses without a strong educational background and/or work experience? If you are failing placement exams and struggling with business ideas, there is more support you need. Working your way to the top is not a quick get-rich scheme. You need more patience and discipline. I believe you should enroll in a community college and select a major that you will stick with. Get tested for any possible disabilities. Get work experience by working part-time while in school related to that major. And seek internships. Good luck, you got this. Ad6323 says, seriously. Got interested in venture capital, but no education to point to or experience besides interest point of. Course no one on LinkedIn is paying attention. Pastor Cut Cuppy says, for real, who just gets interested in venture capital? WTF does that even mean? I've run several business and even helped with a startup and VC is like voodoo still to me. Kiltopney says, I just did a very powerful curse lifting spell for you and on you. When you wake up tomorrow you will have a new energy to you and good things will come your way. You must get out of bed tomorrow and start your day on a walk around the block or the spell won't be as effective. No Miaramen says, and then you must put the next hour into applying for jobs in your new state or going to see a community careers advisor or it won't work. Shlilaki says, and go to more than 20 interviews a year before you feel like you won't make it. That is no even one interview per 2 weeks. 17.8 weeks to be exact. Monday88 says, you have a failure mentality. First thing you need to do is try and fix that. Throw a Gigachad says, The thing is that when this is your mental state, even if you appear in an interview and are super qualified, you will feel like a loser and everyone else will assume you are as well. Mind states are a powerful thing. First, try to be more positive. You are young and appear hardworking. Life will have many knocks, unless you have superb luck to be born in lucky family, first world country, decent zip code and genetics. Try to accept yourself as you are. Let's you failed so far. So what? Tomorrow is a new day. New attempts can be made. Rejoice in this. 12b88 meters says, you're trying and that's a good thing. However, in your current situation I'd recommend going back to basics. Get a job. Any job at all. Work overnights as a stoker in a store. Be a convenience store clerk. Work at a car wash. Be a janitor. Whatever job you can get, do it. Then work hard at being the absolute best employee you can possibly be. Always show up 15 minutes early. Always look for stuff to do and do it to the best of your ability. Eliminate clutter in your life. Simplify your clothing and furnishings to the bare minimum. You need no more than 10 complete outfits. 7 for daily wear, to that are slightly nicer, and 1 suit. You need a bed, a table, 4 chairs, a dresser, and not much else. The point is you are getting rid of the clutter in your life, so you can concentrate on being the best version of you that you can be. Once you've done that, start improving yourself. Take night classes in something useful like accounting, or learn a skill like carpentry or welding. That's how you get yourself started over. Sophie Slays says, if you're failing an exam, study again and take it. Why do you go from one thing to another after trying for 1 year? Overall Emu8394 says, it happens to a lot of people. I would rec a few things. 1. You need to improve your mental state, whether that's through talking and having fun with friends or family, as people can get a sense of your mental state when interacting with you. So won't help when applying for jobs or trying to get a business or any other hustle going. 2. Apply to temp jobs / remote jobs / porter at construction site, valet etc. to get back in the rhythm of this. 3. Start research how you are meant to monetize your choices, like writing. Don't know if it's changed from when you did it a couple years ago. r/adulting. Practical payment 552 says, married but more lonely than when you were single. Possible? Physically, it seems impossible. Whether you're 100% content or not with your spouse, at least he/she is there beside you, occupying your space and time and your thoughts. From the perspective of a single, it seems they just want to be happier when they are already happy, but at the same time, coming from unhappy parents, I know how it's torturing to spend life with someone you're not compatible with. As Ariane Milk says, I felt lonelier when I was married. I was constantly waiting for someone to acknowledge me, felt lucky when my efforts were received positively and without criticism. I'm happier single. I can watch what I want without judgment. I can cook what I want without complaint. I have a social life again, and have great friends again. Assumption Empty says, yeah. My ex wanted to be with someone else. I knew this, but did have the self-respect to end it. Every night, she was laying beside me, but it felt like we were worlds apart. It's the loneliest feeling in the world. Pleasant Fishing 7506 says, I understand this completely. My parents were very compatible. They loved and cared for each other very much. Me. I don't know if I expect too much from a relationship or if I'm the problem. Sometimes I feel more lonely being married than I did being single. Savings Vermicelli 39 says, this can happen when two people aren't both being 100% authentic with each other. If you aren't being transparent with your spouse, you'll start to drift, making you feel alone. Celestial Trix II says, feeling more lonely in a marriage than when single can be surprisingly common and deeply disheartening. Primary Lion 6088 says, I only felt this way when I was married to the wrong person. I never feel lonely with my current partner around. Krista Morning Dove 80 says, yes bro. 17 years of narcissistic abuse. Always walking on eggshells, feeling like nothing I did was right, not really allowed to have friends. I was glad when it was over. Trantaran says, if you don't like each other of course. Wolfhoff says, being in a relationship with someone you are not 100% into is the loneliest and most suffocating feeling in the world. I'd much rather be single and have the freedom. Happens when you can't be yourself around someone. Redditorist 1 says, certainly think it's possible. When you're single there's loneliness in a direct way. There you are, without another to talk to, see, hold, smell, what have you. Being lonely in a relationship would add the crushing disappointment that comes with the realization your partner falls short on making any difference, even though being physically there. It stresses the fact that physicality can only do so little, and that companionship is much more constituted of all the other stuff you hoped for, but didn't quite get. When you're single it's more like what if when in a relationship, seems to me, that becomes a HM. Now what, just a thought though, take it with a grain of salt. I'm 28 and this could just be cope for never having had a half decent relationship myself. Abducted by Aliens 0000 says, I felt lonelier when I was married. It'd be gut wrenching and would kill me being rejected by my own husband. Then I'd feel uncomfortable in our home. It was a lonely time. I'm glad to be lonely and single. Fearless Jelly 9292 says, it's definitely possible. Unfortunately, I was raised in a dysfunctional home, so I've never seen romantic relationships as a source of ultimate happiness. I had to do a lot of unlearning and realize that not every man cheats like my dad, and that I don't have to be like my mum and stay in a bad marriage. Anyway, I think people who believe a romantic relationship will solve loneliness are fortunate enough to have never seen a bad romantic relationship. I hope they'll keep that naivety until they are in a good relationship. Rattling Plutz says, yeah, if you don't match well. Fun Group 5715 says, yep. Altruistic Patient 8 says, very least, you have a roommate that pays bills. Better than being single still. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.